Hi, everybody. I'm Asaf from David Systems, and today I'm here with Dave from David. Hi, Dave. How are you?
I am good. Again, why so fast with the
was
David
not,
Systems?
It
David
was not
Systems.
so. Well, somebody needs to be. And we're back with the Listening in Action show, the show where we talk about our newsletter, so you guys won't have to read it.
Yeah.
It's cool, though. It's
Well,
cool,
you know,
though.
we try to do as many bullet points and short sentences and whatnot.
What we have for today is the release. This is going to be the big thing we're going to talk about, and
Yeah, so we haven't done a newsletter in
a while.
a little bit, yeah. And the release is a great point to do it. So we do have the new release, 2019.2.0. Yeah, and so this one's dealing more with security and security authentication. I think that's very exciting. Content management. There's some loudness improvements. I think you just did a video on loudness.
Yeah.
And there's some instances of Rode. So, and I also know you've done a video on Rode.
Yeah, I've been working on this video for Rode. I think you've seen the video, right?
Yeah, but it's a good video. It's, you know, what is Rode, and you know,
Yeah, so this
why
is
should somebody be interested in Rode?
Rode is a major step forward in a lot of things that we're doing, I think.
Yeah, it's with everything. We want to always provide a great foundation for your infrastructure, but we also know with today's needs in radio, podcast, audio, however you want to describe it, there's this great need for flexibility, and Rode allows for that
Exactly.
flexibility in many, many areas,
Yeah.
which is what goes into that video.
And this is exactly the thing about Rode. It's just the things how we interpreted them. The use cases that we have that we're showing from Rode are just the stuff we thought about. So it's really flexible in the sense of you can build up upon that. And this comes back to the fact that we're doing a guided beta with Rode. So we are offering you, and we're saying guided beta because not everybody could install Rode. It's very dependent on what you're running, how you're running it. You'll have to talk to Björn Lamna, and his email is going to be somewhere here. Yeah.
Or it's in the newsletter. You can
You
can click on it on
at
the
that
newsletter.
point, which actually brings us to other stuff that are challenges or that we're bringing forward. Women Tech and Radio.
Yeah, Women Tech and Radio. There's a lot. There's 3 or 4. Definitely 3 new podcasts with Camille.
Nice.
And now we are expanding the people who are being featured.
Yeah, there's a lot
to
of
people
people.
outside of
Yeah.
David. So it's good. So we're getting more women involved. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's Camille's project, and probably that's not the right to say. I don't want to talk too much about it. It's like, I think it's best that you listen. We know we're getting really good results from women in tech listening to this, and it's more of how can we build momentum and initiatives. How can we build more momentum behind the initiative? And that's always what we want to be able to do, because it's important for us, on a daily basis. I mean, this is where we're working. There's also been a on the Radio Days website. There's an
right,
article
I've seen
about
those.
there's an article about Camille.
Nice.
And about women in tech and radio. It distinctly says Camille, the mastermind.
Oh.
So that's very interesting. But again, this is all very important to us because this kind of gets back to our values. And our values, one of our values is diversity, and how are we going to, this is our way of how do we live it, and how can we, make it more prevalent within David and within radio.
Yeah,
I almost said radio.
Oh, so values. We as a company, I mean, like, this is a major discussion, I'd say, that keeps coming back in a company way, because we want to stick to those values that make David. And it's also a challenge because, I mean, like, it's not easy to live up to one's values, but especially with these values. I mean, we're talking about being transformative, for example, like something David that we always come back to here, David. It's very hard to be transformative. I mean, like, it's not.
I think the difficulty on transformative, the industry's changing. We need to change. People need to change.
Yeah, but it's easier not to do.
It's easier to stay the course.
Yeah, run of the mill.
And how do we go about changing things in terms of people, in terms of software, in terms of events? And we just had an event up in Berlin where we saw a series of students from Audencia, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, who were looking about media innovation in Germany. So we were able to talk about media and audio and radio and those areas. So that was an event in Berlin. So that's kind of how we're addressing transformation. So that's pretty cool. And it's diverse. It kind of went into women in tech and radio. It was really a large participation from women. So that was really good.
There's some pictures. Seen a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very, very good event.
Yeah.
So transformative,
Right.
Diverse,
Being clear.
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 So how do we be? I don't know if we're always accomplishing that within this podcast, but it's always trying to be more clear in those areas. That's one of our values of what we're always trying to accomplish.
But that's a real
Trying to-
challenge. That was ties back to the whole, how do you visualize, how do you explain something that is very theoretical because you don't interact with it directly. I mean, it's a challenge, but I think we're doing great, strides forward with the way we're doing these things. And appreciative.
Yeah, and so appreciative is you think it's somewhat simple to do, but it's also you somehow have to remind people. And one of the areas where we are very appreciative is that I don't think people know you. So a lot of people have now seen you at IBC and areas and go, oh, the face of David, or the radio face of David, in those areas, and that you've been a student worker this whole time, and now that you've been hired,
Surprise.
you've been hired full time as title as a content marketing manager, but it becomes, how do we use our tools of content? How do we use them for ourselves within a marketing construct? So it's really different, and we hope to be expanding all the time on how we're using content for marketing purposes, and from not marketing purposes, and also from using our content. That's kind of your area, so it'll be very, very exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is exciting.
And people will be seeing more of you, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot to do. There are a lot of places we haven't gone to in video and content in general. I mean, not only using our own content like we're doing, we're recording with Rode right now. So this is that was not something that was very simple before we started to implement these solutions in this studio, in this context, but educational, more tutorials, engaging more internally with other people in the company, and we've talked about the customer care
desk. And the customer care desk is kind of meta for us because we have the customer care team.
Yeah.
They have a desk, but also we have something called the CCD, which is the software, and it's having its 1-year anniversary. So, we've been getting feedback about that. We're making constant improvements, but we actually have an anniversary for the from the CCD, from the customer care desk in that area.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and maybe you'll see content from them as well.
So,
that's the point.
That was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
From the tips and tricks is how can we do little bite-sized pieces of videos that provide you a little bit of information on the content and also capture people. How can we be clear? Is this a little bit transformative? How can we be diverse in the way we're presented? So how do we live our values, through this podcast, through the customer care experience, all these areas? We're always trying to mix it up there a little bit.
Which is great. And by the way, studio, so this is the place to see our products at work. So people who are interested to visit David to get a car wash from Martin, So, this is the place to see the products in action that you don't have. And if you're interested, you can always come here. You're invited.
Yeah. And the one big invitation is the Customer Conference 2020, since I think everything will be 2020 coming out that way. The Customer Conference is going to be March 9th and 10th.
On the screen right now.
So people should get their airline reservations, hotel reservations before everything sells out.
Be there or be.
But that is, and so we will be living our values, showing software. How can we be transformative?
Right.
I think the studio will be a lot more with what the studio is taking leaps and bounds of improvements from last year.
Definitely.
And all those things will be March 9th and 10th here in Munich, in the Munich office. All in the studio, in the
everybody's gonna
in the
come
showroom.
And we're gonna cram what?
We're gonna put 100 people. We're gonna put 100 people in here.
Yeah, that's not a wise decision.
And
This
then
is not a wise
we're gonna
decision.
get Guinness most people in a.
I doubt that this has not been done before. I doubt
my
that.
feeling is, in my feeling, this is when transformative goes too far.
Yeah, and with those very interesting remarks, we're gonna end the show. And thank you guys for listening. I'm Asaf from David Systems, and
I'm Dave from David.
and don't forget David Systems, listening in action.